morning. It is Monday and I'm drinking some coffee in my new little mug, which I love. I got my holiday blend coffee from Target yesterday. That order's come in so quick from Target. Like, I am always so impressed. But then I found out that apparently my Kroger store is carrying the holiday blend this year, which is, I've never known them to carry it. Maybe they did before and just never looked. I don't know. It's very hard to find Nespresso pods in my town, I swear, because they do have them, but very limited selection. But anyway, so we have our holiday blend with a little bit of the marshmallow nut pods because I cannot find the peppermint mocha nut pods here. I'm gonna have to order them off of Amazon. You know, when you check your email, well, if you work in any kind of world where you get emails, and the only two you get over the weekend are ones that you think, okay, this is what kind of day that Monday's going to be. That was today. So it's going to be a fun day. And I have a 9 o'clock meeting, I have a 1:30 meeting, and then I have to deal with these two emails. So we're gonna go in, try to be as positive as possible. I brought some tea with me, so after I'm done with my coffee, I'm gonna drink some tea and I'll probably either put on some Christmas music. I have my own office, so I can put like Christmas music on and it's not gonna disrupt anybody. So I'm thinking maybe some Christmas music. I may even just put a Christmas movie on and just have it playing in the background while I am dealing with work and just try to get into a little bit more of a festive mood. So that is the plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and head in. My rest of my day is gonna be a little bit hectic. So I didn't do my meal prep yesterday because my husband was only home yesterday. I went and picked him up at 3 o'clock in the morning from the truck stop, and then he doesn't head out today until about 1 o'clock. So I think Monday nights are gonna be my meal prep nights for a while. So I'm gonna meal prep when I get home, but I have to rush home at lunchtime, which I'm going to take kind of a weird lunch. I think I'm going to do 12:15 to 1:15. That way I can get back here by my 1:30 and then get him to the truck stop. So I'm going to go home, pick him up, take him to the truck stop. So I didn't meal prep, so I really don't even know what I'm going to have for lunch today. But I'm not too worried about it. I can always just throw some chicken in the air fryer or something and just go from there. I'm not too worried. But yeah, so it's going to be a little hectic. And then when I get home tonight, we'll meal prep, and it's gonna be kind of like my chili takes about 3 hours, so that'll kind of go in. But as far as the prep stuff, I think I can get everything else prepped pretty quickly. I feel like the only advantage of the Monday night meal preps is I tend to go a little faster because it's after work and I want to get done and I need to eat. So anyway, yeah, we'll be doing our Mexican zucchini dish, the low carb taco pie, and the chili. Oh, and then some pizza bowls. I won't have to make as many pizza bowls because I would have made one for today, but I'll just make one for like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm thinking. Or maybe just make 2 of them, Tuesday and Wednesday, because the other meals will be also lunch and dinner. So I think I'll just do that. I think I'll just do 2 pizza bowls, and then, yes, and then we'll do our low carb taco pie, chili, and the Mexican dish, which it'll take. The zucchini dish is super quick. The low carb taco pie, actually, I'll probably start the chili first because that will need to simmer for a while. And so I'll get that going and that can just cook on its own. And then we'll work on the taco pie while that's in the oven. We can get the Mexican zucchini dish done and the pizza bowls. And then the low carb taco pie should be out of the oven, and it should just be like that, like perfect world, right? Like that's how I'm picturing it. So it should be pretty quick. So that's probably the next thing you'll see is me after work starting my meal prep. That's what I am envisioning anyway. But I'm going to turn around my attitude. We're going to go in, we're going to be positive, going to deal with the things that we have to deal with, and I'm going to do it with some joy. So good morning and happy Monday. Alrighty guys, I am home from work. It is 5:30. I am getting ready to meal prep. I've already prepped some things. I cut all the veggies so I could get it done as fast as I can. So we're gonna see how long this takes. My chili is gonna take a few hours to make because of course it has to simmer for about 3 hours because of the ingredients that I use. So we're gonna start the chili first. I'm gonna be doing a slow cooker, like low carb chili. Then we're gonna be doing a crustless low carb taco pie. I'm going to be doing some keto pizza bowls. They're really just kind of low carb pizza bowls. And then I'm going to be doing a Mexican, it's called Mexican zucchini and beef, but I am using ground turkey for that. So right now I have all my ingredients cut. I have all my seasonings in little bowls so I can just dump and go, and we will be golden. So let me go ahead and get my crock pot out, get my pots and pans out that I'm going to need, and we're gonna see how quickly we can do this. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and open up all my cans as well, so then that way I can just dump and go. So we're gonna see how long this takes. I'm actually enjoying doing these Monday night meal preps because I feel like it goes pretty quickly. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around and show you what we're doing. I have my ground beef in there. I'm gonna add in just a little bit of frozen onion to cook along with the ground beef. We're gonna go ahead and cook this up first before we add in the stew meat. Okay, so the ground beef is mostly cooked through. Then I added in 3/4 of a pound of that stew meat. So that whole package of stew meat was like 1.25 pounds. So I weighed out at 3/4 of a pound. And I'm just kind of browning that up, but of course it's not going to be cooked through yet. I've been leaving it a little bit chunky. And now I'm going to add in my veggies. So we already had the onions in there. I have 1 full red pepper, 1 full yellow pepper, and then I have 3 stalks of celery. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that up. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring that to a simmer. Now we're going to add in all the canned stuff. So you are going to need 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. So chili is probably the only time you ever use an entire can of tomato paste, right? So 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. I'm going to do 1 10-ounce can. This is basically Rotel, but the Walmart version. So it's the mild diced tomatoes with green chilies. I don't drain any of this stuff because we want the liquid in there. I'm going to do 1 14-ounce can of stewed tomatoes. I'm going to do 1 14-ounce can of chili ready tomatoes. These just have a little bit of spices in them. You can also use petite diced tomatoes as well. We're going to do 1 full can of tomato sauce. We're going to do 1 can of black beans. If you want to keep it completely low carb or keep it keto, then I believe it will be keto. I don't know. I'm not really versed in keto anymore, but I think if you leave out the black beans, it could be closer to keto. And then we're going to do 1 14-ounce can of beef broth. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that and see if I need to add any more liquid. Thing I did not do that I usually do is put the seasoning in when I'm browning the meat, and I forgot to do that. Let me tell you what is in this seasoning, and I do highly suggest you do the seasoning the same time you are browning either your ground beef or adding in your stew meat. This is 4 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne. No, if you don't want it spicy, don't do the cayenne. And I'm just going to give this a stir. We're also going to add in some pickled jalapenos. These are the ones I use. I put them inside the chili, and then I also put them on top of the chili when I serve it. I'm just going to do about 1/4 cup of the jalapenos. Again, if you don't want it spicy, leave out the jalapenos. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to let it simmer for about 3 hours. You could also just do a slow cooker method, which I was going to do, but then I just thought, you know what? The stew meat will get nice and tender if I just bring it to a boil and let it simmer. But look at that chunky chili. It's low carb, filled with veggies, and so much flavor. Next up, we're gonna get our low carb taco pie in the oven. So the ingredients you're going to need, first up, you're going to need to either have some taco seasoning or some homemade. Now, let me tell you what is in this homemade taco seasoning. Now, this makes more than what you'll need for this recipe. You'll need 3 tablespoons of this. But let me tell you what is in here. So we have 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, a half a tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of pepper, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And then I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of this for the recipe. Then the only other thing you need is 1 pound of meat. So you can use ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken. I'm using ground turkey. You need 3 tablespoons of the taco seasoning. You need 6 eggs, 1 cup of cheddar cheese, whatever kind of cheese you want, and then you need 1 cup of heavy cream. Now this is going to make 8 servings. So if you're someone that does Weight Watchers and not low carb, you can use a fat-free or reduced fat cheese. The heavy cream, this is going to be 1 cup spread over 8 servings. Again, though, you could use half and half, or you could use some sort of lower fat milk to make it less points. And same with the cheese. This is 1 cup over 8 servings. So let me go ahead and we're going to ground the ground beef, add in the taco seasoning to that, and we're going to mix together the eggs and the heavy cream, and we'll add the cheese on before it goes into the oven. Okay, so I have the eggs in here and the heavy cream. So I'm just gonna whisk this together. I don't know why I never think about whisking the eggs first before I add in things like milk. I guess I just like to make a mess. I like to make things harder for myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this together, weigh out my cheese, and then this will come together pretty quickly. Alrighty, our ground turkey is almost done cooking. I added in the 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning. Again, if you don't want to make your own taco seasoning, just use a packet of taco seasoning. And I also added in just a little bit of water because this ground turkey was super lean. Like, it was leaner than what some of it is. It's really strange because it's 93%, and usually I get a little bit of liquid off of that, but I didn't get any. Okay, now this pan goes from stovetop to oven, so I can just put this directly into my oven, which is what I'm going to do. If you don't have a pan like that, then go ahead and transfer this to a pie plate, because this is supposed to be like a pie, or you can also do some sort of casserole dish. So just go ahead and transfer this to a greased, oven-safe dish. Now what I'm going to do is slowly pour the egg cream mixture, and it never fails. We'll see if this happens, but I feel like I always have 1 full egg that's somehow missed me mixing. Let me know, does that ever happen to you? Oh, looks like it's turned out good. Yep, nope, there it is. Look, y'all. Like, I feel like I always have 1 egg that somehow misses out on the whisking. Maybe I'm just not very good at whisking. So I'm just gonna kind of mix that in there. So just kind of cover your ground meat. And then we are going to sprinkle with the cheese. So this is just 1 cup of cheese. Go ahead and sprinkle that all over. And actually 1 cup of cheese is actually a lot when you're putting it on something like this. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put this in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. And what you're gonna look for is that everything is cooked through, and of course, you know, everything is set in the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and you do it uncovered for 30 minutes in 350 oven. Next up, we're gonna do a Mexican zucchini and ground meat skillet. So you're supposed to use ground beef. We are going to use 93% lean ground turkey. You need 2 medium zucchinis that you slice up and quarter. I like to do them a little chunkier because I do prefer my zucchini to kind of be crisp, tender. You're gonna need some minced garlic. We need a 10-ounce can of, like I said, it's like Rotel. This is the original diced tomatoes. This one's a little bit spicier than the mild. And then as a bonus, I like to add in some fire roasted tomatoes. This is not on the original recipe that I will link down below. Then we have our seasoning, which is 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, a half of a teaspoon of pepper, a half of a teaspoon of onion powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you don't want it spicy, leave out the red pepper flakes. This is so easy, you guys. We're just gonna brown this up, add in our garlic, add in the spices, then we're gonna add in the tomatoes, and we'll add in the zucchini last. That's my preference. If you like the zucchini cooked a little bit more, you can add that in at the same time as the tomatoes. Literally, that's all it is. It is the easiest dish and it has so much flavor. Okay, I added in the minced garlic with the ground meat, and we're gonna cook this most of the way through, and then I will add in the seasoning. The ground turkey is mostly cooked through, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in that seasoning and stir that up. I may need to add in a little bit of water, but see, this ground turkey has a little bit more liquid to it, so it's so interesting how it differs per package, but it is what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and finish cooking this up, and then we'll add in the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and add in, I'm not gonna drain these, I'm gonna add in the fire roasted tomatoes and the like Rotel tomatoes, the tomatoes with diced green chilies. I'm gonna stir that up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in the zucchini. And I'm gonna put a lid on it and allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes. Now again, if you like your zucchini cooked a little bit more, then you can saute it with your ground meat. But I personally, because I will also be heating this up for dinner and for lunches, that I prefer it to be, like I said, a little bit crisp tender. That's kind of the only way that I can really describe this. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down a little bit and go ahead and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And great on time. I have 10 minutes left of my taco pie, and I just have to finish up our zucchini dish, and then go ahead and finish our pizza bowls. And this, I am so impressed with how efficient I can be when I do these nighttime meal preps. Okay, this is all done. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing, y'all? Like, it is just, it has so much flavor. I can't even tell you how good this is. Go ahead and get a picture for the thumbnail, and right here I'll go ahead and put the calories, the carbs, and the WW points based on all the ingredients I used. Also, I will link the recipe, but just remember that the recipe I linked down below does not match this exactly. So what I show on the screen is with the ingredients that I showed you. Chili is still simmering. Again, right here, I'm gonna go ahead and get my thumbnail picture. And then on the screen here, I will show you the calories, carbs, and Weight Watcher points of the ingredients that I used. I will link a couple of recipes down below that will that I use in combination to create this recipe. But again, it may not match exactly. So if you plug in the recipes that I link, just know that it may not match the stats that I put on the screen. The last thing we're gonna prep today are gonna be some low carb or keto pizza bowls. I'm only gonna do 2 because I plan on having it for lunch 2 times this week. And then the rest of the week will be split between the chili and the taco casserole or the taco pie, and the Mexican zucchini and beef will be like my lunches and dinners for the rest of the week. But I wanted 2 pizza bowls. So first off, if you don't wanna make your own pizza sauce, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of pizza sauce, so I like to make my own. So I'm just gonna take this tomato sauce. I'm gonna add in some red pepper flakes, Italian herbs, garlic powder, and onion powder. I'll just put that in there. I'll also do some salt and pepper, and I'll just mix that all up. We'll put some of it in with the beef mixture, which I forgot to grab. We need a pound of ground beef. I'm using 93% lean. I will put some of that pizza sauce in there, and some of it will be in 2 little containers that I can pour on top and when I heat it up. So a pound of ground meat. You'll need some sort of pepperoni. I'm going to use turkey pepperoni, Canadian bacon, regular bacon, which I like to use the fully cooked. We have a whole green bell pepper here, and then some mozzarella cheese. So I need to wait for my pan to get done with my zucchini dish. And then what I'm going to do is we will saute up the bell pepper first, and then we will saute up the turkey pepperoni and the Canadian bacon and the bacon all together in the pan, just to kind of heat it up and get it crispy. And then we'll do the ground beef last. And then that way we can assemble our bowls. Now I'm gonna have extra of this. So I'll just go ahead, actually I'll probably just go ahead and portion out half of it right now, put the other half in the freezer. That way I'm only cooking half of it. I'll go ahead and get my pizza sauce made. We have our pizza sauce. I did 2 little containers here of the sauce, and then this is what was left over that I'll add to the ground beef. I decided to go ahead and cook up the whole thing of ground beef, and then I'll just use half of it, and the other half I'm just gonna throw in the freezer, and then that way I have it already ready to go. That would make me use it a lot easier, I think. We have our full bell pepper. We have 4 slices of bacon. I have 4 slices of Canadian bacon, 10 slices of pepperoni. A serving of the Canadian bacon is 5 slices, 17 slices for the turkey pepperoni, but I don't need that much, and 2 slices is for the bacon. And then we'll do a serving of the cheese in each one when we're done. Add a little bit of avocado oil. We're gonna add in the bell pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and cook the bell pepper until it's nice and tender. This is about as done as I like my bell peppers. Again, I like them a little bit crispier. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add in all the rest of the meat. And I'm just gonna cook it I think I'll put the bacon in. And this looks like it was 5 slices of bacon, not 4. That was all I had left in the package. So we'll just have to eat one. I'm gonna go ahead and just get these just a little bit cooked and crispy. Out at the last minute, my husband's going to be home tonight. His load was done early, so he's gonna be passing through and stopping tonight. So I went ahead and made him a quick meatloaf. So it is cutting into my meal prep time, but we're still doing good. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my homemade pizza sauce. That way it kind of adds into the flavor of the meat as it's cooking. 3 ounces of that cooked ground beef. And then I'm going to do half of the bell pepper in each one. And then, actually I think I'll put the thing of bacon. So I did 4 pieces for each one. And then 2 slices of bacon for each one. And then 10 pepperoni. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna add in some cheese. I'm going to weigh out 28 grams. Okay, so here are our finished low-carb pizza bowls. So we have our pizza sauce and all of the goodies. So I will put the carbs, calories, and Weight Watcher points here on the screen. Our low-carb taco pie is done. Guys, it smells so good. Now, I'm not gonna cut into this until it cools completely, and then I'll cut into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool completely. So you'll have to stay tuned for videos later this week, and I will show you how I serve it. I plan on serving with a side salad. I do like to put some plain non-fat Greek yogurt on top, or you could use sour cream, whichever one you like. I also like to put avocado on top. But this may look, not look amazing, but I can tell you that It tastes amazing. Okay, let's see what time it is. 7 o'clock on the dot, if you can see that. So I started at 5:34, I believe was the exact time. So an hour and a half, not bad, to do chili, the low carb taco pie, the Mexican beef dish, these keto bowls, pizza bowls, and make my husband dinner at the last minute. I just need to make him some mashed potatoes, open up a can of his favorite, I don't know what they're called. He likes these weird little bean thingies, but I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, open up that can, heat them up, but he won't be here for another like an hour and a half or so. So I feel like that's pretty good. And the only dishes I have to do, I have to clean the pan from the ground beef just now. I have the meatloaf dish in here. And besides that, my cleanup is done. I just cleaned up as I went along. So I feel very good about this. So this is definitely a productive Monday night, which is not usually for me. I've not sat down yet since I got home from work. So I'm gonna finish cleaning everything up, sit down, edit this video, and get it posted for you first thing in the morning. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow will be probably just a full day of eating, plus I'm gonna try to get my front porch decorated for Christmas. I got my new pillow covers in and my new doormat. So I think we will do that. I may pop over to Costco to get my my front door wreath if they still have some. So I may just pop over to Costco after work and do that. But I will see you guys then. Bye guys.